Guys, we've got some big breaking news coming out from Arsenal today that our manager, Mikel Arteta, bad news for Arsenal, Mikel Arteta is injured. Yes, our manager is injured. He has a shoulder injury and it looks like he'll be out for a few weeks. He landed on the floor and big Gabriel Magalhaes landing on top of him. It's a fracture probably. So looking like now he'll be missing. He's not fit enough to manage Arsenal for a few weeks, meaning there's only one man for the job, AirPod Albert. AirPod Albert will be Arsenal's manager now, guys, for a few weeks. He will take us to Champions League glory. He'll be managing us, Arsenal, against Real Madrid in both the legs. He'll cook Real Madrid. He'll cook Carlo Ancelotti, and he outscoring people. Yeah, he will school Ancelotti, and AirPod Albert will be Arsenal's manager for 3 weeks because Mikel Arteta is injured. I mean, very typical. I mean, as we know, Arteta loves joining in training. He still thinks he's a player. To be honest, I think we could do with him right now, if I'm being honest, in the midfield. So I understand why he wants to join in. He wants to get involved instead of just sitting on the sidelines every single week. So he does take part in training with the players. And what's happened there is obviously Big Gabby's been on top of him and he's injured his shoulder. It's very unfortunate. It is what it is. And yeah, happy April Day, happy April Fool's Day, people. Um, could you imagine imagine Airport Albert managing Arsenal? To be fair, I mean, I remember when we first had him when Arteta had COVID and we played Man City and he pulled off a masterclass in that game. I know we lost it, but Airport Albert, top manager, mate. Yeah, you know how it is. But yeah, happy April Fool's Day, people. Not only is it April Fool's Day, it's also match day for Arsenal as we do face Fulham in the Premier League. 7:45 kickoff. I'll be live later for that one. But this is your Arsenal news show, guys. Welcome to everything you guys, of course, need to know about the latest Arsenal news today. Every single day we do this. So before we do so, make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. Obviously, a bit of fun there, people. Arteta's not injured. It's just April Fool's. So happy April Fool's Day to everyone there. And also happy match day. We are back. So yeah, we're gonna start with some obviously some news. We've got a Fabrizio Romano update on a new contract for Bukayo Saka. Of course, as we know, he's back from his injury. We're gonna see him play tonight. Whether or not he'll start remains to be seen. I'm most likely see him off the bench. But aside from him coming back on the pitch, Fabrizio's came out and said this today that after his imminent return on the pitch, Bukayo Saka and his agents will also have new conversations with Arsenal of a long-term deal, a new long-term contract for Saka, guys. No rush. His current contract expires in June 2027, but director, of course, Andrea Berta, will take care of the process uh, for Saka's contract. So he don't run out to June 2027, but it's very, very good signs already that they are looking to sign this guy up and looking to give him a new contract for the future. And this is, as I said, really, really positive news for Arsenal because we do not want to be losing these players. The likes of Saka, the likes of Saliba, the likes of Gabriel, these types of players. I think those main three, we need to be, signing down to new contracts. Of course, Saka is one of our most important players. He's going to be saying at Arsenal. I mean, would there be a scenario where he would leave Arsenal? I hear the argument and I hear the point where people and they say I put it more towards Saliba in this situation, but as years go on and we're still not winning trophies, could that be a big factor into these players staying at Arsenal? Because we've seen in the past that look how many players left Arsenal who were very important to us. The likes of Robin van Persie because they wanted more, they wanted trophies, they wanted Premier League titles, and they went on to only do that as well. There's only a selective few that probably went for money. Alexis Sanchez, he wanted more for sure as a player, and he was not going to get that at Arsenal, Premier League or Champions League. I think he deserved it, but we wasn't progressing in terms of doing that with him in the current team. As we know, he went for more money side of things, but there's many examples where players left Arsenal, really important players, and they've gone because they wanted more, and we're not delivering trophies. So that's the only situation I really look at, which could be a question mark whether he will stay on, especially for someone like Saliba I'm talking about. For Saka, listen, I think the guy, I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon, people, to be honest with you. Yeah, he's going to stay loyal with Arsenal 100%. And at the end of the day, you know, it's good that Andre Albertas came in and he's, looking to sign these players down to new deals straight away. That's what we love to see. a bit of ambition straight away. So yeah, some really good news there on Bukayo Saka, guys. Of course, there's obviously no rush at the moment because he has got a new. He don't run out till 2027. He's contract in June 2027. So there's no rush, but some really really good positive signs there that he'll be an Arsenal player for many many years to come. Now, another story that came out the other day, guys, in fact, yesterday, which I find pretty interesting as well. Coming by Florian Plattenberg over there at Sky Germany, a respectable journalist over there, reasonably reliable journalist as well. He's came out and said today, so yesterday, that there have been and still are internal skeptics about Leroy Sané's contract extension. However, his performances and commitment are increasingly being recognised. Max Earl continues negotiations, and Sané is willing to accept a pay cut. No written offer made from Bayern Munich yet. The club must now make a move. Sané wants to stay, with a decision expected within 1 to 3 weeks. And then he says at the bottom here, Arsenal was seriously interested in signing him as a free agent in the summer. Concrete talks have already taken place. So, I mean, let's just talk about the first part of this in terms of the player's point of view. Right now, Sane is happy to stay at Bayern Munich, and it's all going to matter in a few weeks' time. It's down to Bayern Munich to make that decision. Sane is happy. He's even willing to take a pay cut just to stay at Bayern Munich. He's happy, but is whether or not they want to keep him or get rid of him. Um, if they do decide that they want to get rid of him, then this is where it's going to open up the door for Arsenal, and he will be available as a free agent, a free signing in the summer as well. If Bayern Munich want obviously to keep him, it'd be very similar to how we saw Joshua Kimmich's situation play out, where Joshua Kimmich obviously now staying at Bayern Munich, he signed a new contract. So honestly, the decision is down to Bayern Munich. Whether or not they want to keep him remains to be seen. Um, you know, if it comes to the stage where we find out in a few weeks that he won't be staying, and Bayern want to get rid of him, then this is where it'll open up the door for Arsenal, and he'll be available in a free agent, guys. Leroy Sane, as we know, Mikel Arteta has worked with him in the past. As we know, Mikel Arteta has obviously coached this guy in the past with Man City, with Pep Guardiola when he was there. Um, it's another player that he's worked with, but I mean, I heard the same story with Raheem Sterling. Arteta worked with Sterling in the past. Look how that's turned out. Sane is still around. Is he like, I think 28, 29 years of age? He's been at Bayern for many, many years. Not been the same player, I don't think, since he's moved to since being at Man City. I remember in 2017 at Man City, he was a quality player. That's where we really should have maybe signed him before he went to Bayern Munich. But he would be available at the end of the season if he does not stay. And honestly, on a free transfer, I wouldn't mind it. I actually wouldn't mind signing Sane. He can play both sides, left and right. I think he played on the left more for Man City, but we'll see him play more on the right for Bayern Munich. He's had a few good moments. I mean, that Champions League last season, he ripped us apart, didn't he? Let's not kid ourselves. Kivio got rinsed by this guy, and he also stepped up in the semi-finals against Real Madrid. That really good goal that he scored against Real Madrid. So he has games here and there where he can have that moment of brilliance, but at the same time, he also has that inconsistent performances about him as well. Suffers pretty much sometimes with injuries as well. The injuries is not against him. I know the wages, but I don't think the wages will be an issue because the wages he's willing to take a pay cut. So if you want to come to Arsenal, I think he'll have similar thoughts there. He'll take a pay cut. So the wage wouldn't be an issue. I think the big thing that worries me is probably the injuries or this type of player. I actually don't mind him as a player. I think having him on a free transfer next season in the summer could be really good cover, could be really good depth, could be really good competition, I think, for both sides. I'm not saying just sign him as a winner because I think we need him on a free, but then also going big for another winner. But having him as another attacker, I think we need as many attackers as we can get really in the summer. Strikers, winners, attacking midfielders, especially if the likes of Trossard will be moving on. Maybe Gabri Jesus could move on in the summer. Still remains to be see what happens with them. But I certainly see Trossard maybe not. I certainly see Trossard moving on in the summer as well. We're going to need replacements there. We're going to need some more squad depth. It's another option for our bench as well, honestly, because the bench this season has been I know we've had injuries, but even before the injuries, it is not great whatsoever. with Sane coming in, he gives you something different off the bench. You know, again, he's been in the Premier League before. On a free transfer, I don't see why not, to be honest with you, and I would take him. I don't think he should be our main winner. I'm not saying that, but I think you get him, a striker, another winner, then I wouldn't mind that whatsoever. If it's just him on his own, then okay, fair enough. I understand that. You know, he wouldn't be the answer really. But I think we have to wait out this one. I mean, it'd be interesting. Maybe when the window does open, or in the next month or whatever, we'll find out if he'll say at Bayern Munich. If he doesn't say at Bayern Munich, then this is where the door opens up for Sane. I know he's a player that's been linked with Arsenal for every single window, it seems like. But on a free transfer, I actually wouldn't mind it, to be honest. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down below. Thank you guys for only watched the show today. It's match day, so you're watching this now. But you guys catch me later on tonight for the live watch along Arsenal Fulham and the match reaction after the game as well. I'll catch you guys there. As always, comment you Gunners, and I'll catch you guys in my next one.